Hey guys, welcome to Planning with Crystal. So today's unboxing is Book Box Club. This is for December 2020, and if you are not familiar with Book Box Club, it is a book subscription box. The theme of the box changes every month, and I'll tell you about this month's theme in just a minute. It's a UK based subscription, and the genre for these boxes is always young adult. So the great thing with this, you can get it as a subscription where you just get a book, or you can get it as a subscription where you get a book and lots of kind of bookish goodies. And since as I enjoy that, I am a member of the book club that gets you all the goodies. So I'm going to obviously unbox it and show you everything that's in here. The books are always signed by the author or come with a signed book plate, and you also get the opportunity to go to an online book club where you can talk with other people who have the membership and the author. So if you've any burning questions for the author, you usually get the chance to kind of ask those questions and things. So it's a really great subscription. So it starts at £28.99 a month, depending on how long you sign up for, and I'll put all the info under the video if this is something that interests you and that you want to pick up. And let me just give you a quick recap on last month's book. So this was last month's book, The Magpie Society by Zoe Sugg and Amy McCullough. So this was set in a kind of boarding school, and there was a new student who had transferred there, and then obviously all the other students were there as well, and she was like sharing a room with somebody who was quite well known in the school, and they kind of don't get on to start with, and there's all that kind of stuff going on. The book uses a kind of split narrative, so it keeps switching between the two kind of main characters, showing it from each other's point of view and what have you. There's also a kind of death mystery type thing going on, in the sense that somebody has died recently at the school and somebody's making a podcast trying to suggest that the death wasn't an accident and that it was murder. So there's all that kind of stuff going on. So in terms of my review for the book, no major spoilers, you know, I won't do that to you. All I will say is I found it really interesting in parts, gripping almost in parts, in other parts obviously less so. I mean obviously it's a young adult book. I'm not the target audience, being like 34, but I have read other young adult books where they manage to kind of hit a certain level within the book where they're aiming it at not necessarily teenagers. This kind of, there were parts of it where it was a little bit cringy and a little bit, they were almost dumbing it down for teenagers, which I don't think they really need to do. I mean, young adults usually aimed around about 14, and people of 14 don't need you to speak to them like they're idiots. And there was just bits of this book that, for me, felt that way. Maybe it just didn't come across right for me, but there were aspects like that that I didn't love. The other thing I really didn't like about it is it looked like it was heading somewhere and we were going to get like this big reveal at the end of the book, and then it just kind of abruptly ended. And then it became apparent that this is because they're going to release another book, so it's like part of a series, which is fine. I'm quite happy to read book series, but usually it comes to some kind of close at the end and maybe something else happens to kind of make you want to get the next book. But this just kind of abruptly ended. Sorry, you're not getting an ending with this book. You'll have to wait until the next book comes out. So that kind of spoiled the enjoyment of the book for me overall. So yeah, that's my kind of feedback on last month's book. I mean, I enjoyed reading it for the most part. There were just elements of it I kind of wanted to make you aware of in case you're thinking of buying the book. And I will link the book underneath if you kind of like the sound of it. Like I say, it wasn't bad. There were just elements of it that I didn't love. If you've read it though, let me know your thoughts. Okay, so this month's theme is Miracles at Midnight. And on the back of the card, it will tell me a lot more about all the items inside. So I'm not going to look at it just yet. I'm going to kind of look at it as I go through so that I'm surprised, as you are. So we always have a little envelope that will have your name on, and it will say open me last, and this will be your invite to the online book club. And like I said, you get this whether you are a books only, I think they call it pure books member, versus a book box club member. So either way, you get the invitation. It suggests you open it last because it obviously tells you what the book is and who the author is. So yeah. Then the book always comes nicely wrapped, and this looks like it's quite a thick one. So I will open this last anyway because I like to be surprised. I can see the book plate on the front, which is really quite large. I imagine usually this is like tucked inside, so I imagine it's to do with how they've kind of packaged this month. Maybe they've had to wrap them early to make sure they get them out in time, because I think they did post this month's box out early, because obviously Royal Mail and other delivery carriers are struggling to keep up with the demand this Christmas. So yeah, so they've got it out early, so maybe that's why they kind of had to add it in at the end. But yeah, usually the book plate would be on the inside. They kind of told us this up front, that we would be getting an additional uncorrected proof in here. So an uncorrected proof, if you're not familiar, is just a book that isn't quite ready to go to market. They won't sell it in this form, but they send it to people for reviews and things ahead of them launching the book. So with uncorrected proofs, if you're not familiar, you're not allowed to sell an uncorrected proof, because it's kind of classed as a gift rather than something that's saleable. Yeah, so let's see what it's about. So there's a range of books that you might get in here, and I'll tell you which one I've been given in just a second. But the way that they describe it on here is: discover a brilliant new book before anyone else. We've teamed up with our publisher buddies to bring you a list of 8 incredible new books for 2021. All members will receive an advanced reading copy of one book from the list. Which book will be in your box? The list isn't here, so I don't know what we could have had, but I can tell you what I got. So I've got a book called Guard Your Heart by Sue Divin, and it's by Macmillan. And it says, boy meets girl on the Northern Irish border, but what if peace is harder than war? Worlds collide in this deathly written novel on first love that defies the odds in contemporary Derry, perfect for fans of normal people, which I have read. And this is aimed at people 12 plus, so it's obviously a young adult book, and it will retail at $7.99 when it launches. So that sounds interesting. Always good to have another book to read. There is also an enamel pin, and this is gorgeous. I absolutely love stars, so this is right up my street. I never really know what to do with enamel pins. Do kind of let me know in the comments what you do with enamel pins. I kind of feel like I'm past the age where I can get away with putting enamel pins on bags and coats and things, so I never really know what to do with them. But that one is super cute. You can also usually buy all these items on the Book Box Club website. So there's a particular box that you watch me unbox and you like a particular item, or the box itself, you can usually go and get that off their website, you know, while they've got it in stock. So yeah, but I like that, that's very cute. And then it looks like we've got a little Christmas decoration, and it says Night Circus Decoration by Eward Studio. Decorate your tree like a true dreamer and add a splash of circus to your festive foliage with this stunning illustrated wooden bauble. And they've got information about the Etsy shop that produced it, and it's just plain wood on the back and kind of looks like painted at the front, and then it's just got this little yellowy gold ribbon to hang it on the tree. So I will definitely be doing that. Next up we have got a soap. So this is by Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, and it says Thistle Soapery Artisan Soap, London, charcoal, tea tree and ginger, handmade, vegan and cruelty free. Certainly getting through a lot of soaps, washing our hands all the time. It says midnight miracles are simple with a bit of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, in brackets Cinderella style. Lather up with this charcoal, turmeric and tea tree oil soap bar and prepare for miraculously glowing skin. Just think of us as your skincare fairy godmothers. And it's called Cinder's Soap. I think that might be a misprint actually on the card, because on the card it says that it's charcoal, turmeric and tea tree, and on here it says charcoal, tea tree and ginger. So yeah, but anyway, that's cute. It smells pretty nice. It's not a very strong smell, but yeah, looks good. Ooh, we've got a pair of socks. I get very excited by socks. I like socks a lot. I even unboxed a sock calendar this year, so you can imagine how much I like socks. So these are some bookish socks, so they've got little books all over them, and then on the bottom of the sock it says reading past my bedtime, and that is extremely true. I do that all the time. That's the thing with books, you see, they'll say, oh, read a book before bed, it relaxes you. does it relax you? Or, you know, if the book is particularly good, it just keeps you awake. So bear that in mind if someone tells you to read a book to relax. For me, if it's a good book and it's gripping, it's just keeping me awake, even though I enjoy it, you know. Oh, okay, so I see here, this is the range of books that you could have got. So there was Here the Whole Time by Vitor Martins, The Girls I've Been by Tess Sharp, Yolk by Mary H.K. Choi, Guard Your Heart by Sue Divin, which is what I've got, Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Joya Goffney, We Were Wolves by Jason Cockcroft, Ace of Spades by Faraday Abik Ahmed, and 30 Days Until the End of the World. What would you do? And then on the back it's got it like a reading checklist of all of the different books. So if there's another book here that appeals to you, you can always kind of use this as a guide and look at maybe buying one of these books in the future. But it tells you as well when the books are released. So the one I've got is released on the 1st of April 2021. Some of these other ones, it ranges from January 2021 to the latest date, which is July, which is one called The Forevers by Chris Whitaker, which I think might be the one that just says 30 Days to the End of the World. Anyway, so they're the books that you could have got if you got this box, or if you go on the website and buy one. Then we have got a unashamedly bookish calendar with artwork by Katerina Book Designs. So I actually do need a calendar for 2021. I haven't picked one up yet. It's kind of hard to think about planning for next year, isn't it, with everything that's going on? But anyway, so this is what the calendar looks like. So it's one that you kind of hang up, so you kind of hang it from the top. It's got the little design there, and then obviously the calendar's there at the bottom. So the first one says Reading Rules. That's January. February, love that. I think that's probably going to be my favourite picture. Books with a nice cup of tea or coffee on top, looks lovely. Unashamedly Bookish for March. It's Girl Reading for April. Born to Read for May. Little picnic basket there for June, which is my birthday month. Book Lover for July. A nice little kind of summer book scene there for August. Hooked on Books for September. Nice Halloween book scene there for October. Reading Past My Bedtime for November. And Christmas Tree with books underneath for December. So that's the little bookish calendar. So that looks nice. And it says, make 2021 a year full of brilliant books and plentiful plans with our unashamedly bookish calendar featuring gorgeous original art inspired by books and seasons from Katerina Book Designs. The vast majority of items included in this box are from small businesses, so you're supporting small businesses as well as getting like limited edition items and things. So I just love this subscription. It's just such a great idea. So let's have a look at this month's book. So as usual they put this like bow tied thing on it, but it's actually like an elastic. I've actually reused this on presents recently for Christmas just because I thought it was cute. So there is the kind of signed book plate, and it's on like sticky paper, so you can actually stick it into the book if you want to. This is what the paper looks like, and I think it looks like that every month because certainly that's what last month's paper looked like. Ooh, okay. So the book is called Paris by Starlight by Robert Dinsdale. And it says, from the best-selling author of The Toy Makers. And I'll link the book underneath if you are interested. So it says, settle down, pull your covers tight, look to the window and out into night. Darkness has fallen, the foul are abroad, but out there lies a world that will soon be restored. So let me tell you the tales of when we were born, between sunset and morning, between nightfall and dawn. Let me speak of the star that once shone in the sky, of the kingdoms of moonlight, the flowers by night. Let us travel together through time's lonely mist, to that long ago age where enchantment exists. And on the inside it says, every city has its own magic. Every night on the long journey to Paris from their troubled homeland, Lavonne's grandmother has read to them from a very special book called the Nocturne. It is a book full of stories and heroic adventures of their people who, generations before, chose to live by starlight. With every story that Lavonne's grandmother tells them in their new home, the desire to live as their ancestors did grows, and that is where the magic begins. But not everyone in Paris is won over by the spectacle of Paris by starlight. There are always those who fear the other, the unexplained, the strangers in their midst. How long can the magic of night rub up against the ordinariness of day? How long can two worlds occupy the same streets and squares before there is an outright war? Paris by Starlight is a magical new novel from the critically acclaimed best-selling author of The Toymakers, perfect for fans of Neil Gaiman and Erin Morgenstern. And this is quite a heavy book. So this has got 465 pages in, so it should keep me reading over the festive season. So I look forward to that. That sounds pretty good. So let me just recap everything that came in this month's box. So we've got obviously this month's featured read and book plate, as you always get. We've got this little envelope here that contains our invite to the online book club. So it tells you how to access it and the date and everything, but in order to get the sign-on details to actually join the book club, you have to be a member of the club, so you can't just join by following this if you haven't got the right sign-in details. But it tells me when it is, so I can try and put it in my diary and make sure I'm available and stuff. Then we have got these socks, which I love. Two of my favourite things, books and socks. So yes, absolutely. We've got this little cute tree decoration, came at the perfect time. I'm going to pop that on the tree in just a minute. We've got the uncorrected proof, so another book to read. Like I said, mine's called Guard Your Heart. We've got the ridiculously cute enamel pin, right up my street. And, well, the design is anyway. And we also got this bookish calendar. Like I said, I need a calendar, love it. There's a little card, like I said, explaining about all the other books coming out next year and all the different books you could have got. The card obviously explains a little bit more about all of the things included in the box, and not forgetting the little soap that was included as well. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this unboxing. Let me know in the comments what you think of this subscription box, whether you're a member or whether you're thinking of being, or whether either of the books I've talked about appeal to you, or the book that I read last month. Like I said, I will link the books underneath if I can. I don't think I will be able to for the one that's not yet out, but you might be able to pre-order if it sounds appealing to you. And I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. It lets me know you're enjoying the content I'm producing. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when my next video goes live. I'll be unboxing this again next month because I've signed up to a subscription and I'm enjoying it. So I will be back next month unboxing this if you want to see what comes in next month's box. I also unboxed this box last month as well, so I will add that to the end of this video in case you want to check it out and see what came in last month's box and if this is a subscription for you. So thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.